What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out pirates attack the wrong US Navy ship, and then this happened. This is by Navy Productions. I will leave a link down below to the original video so you can go over there and watch it without me waffling over the top. But this is a good video for me to watch because this is the exact job I had in the Royal Marines. This is what I did. I was doing anti-piracy when I was in the Royal Marines. So I'll actually be able to watch this and tell you exactly what's right, what's wrong, you know, what I did, what I didn't do, what equipment I could use, what equipment I couldn't use, and all that good stuff. So this is going to be a really, really interesting video. Before we get started, check out the new channel sponsor, Chug. Look at this drinking vessel. If you want to be a real man, if you want to be a real Viking, you're not going to be a real Viking, no matter what you do. No matter what you do, you're not going to be a real Viking. But if you want to be someone who drinks from a vessel like this, link down below to a small UK business. Highly recommend you check them out because they are fantastic. Link down below. You'll get 10% off if you order through that code. What else do I need to say? Check out Morale as well. If you haven't checked out already, if you love the outdoors, I highly recommend you check out my new business, Morale. It's something that I am very, very passionate about, and I know that one day it'll even overtake this YouTube channel when it comes to my main source of income, because I'm going to be working hard on Morale for the next 5-10 years, and I'm very, very excited about it. So if you haven't already, please go check out Morale. Link down below. Go check that out. But for now, let's shut up. Let's watch this, and let's see what they're up to.
Have you ever heard of the Pirates of Somalia?
Christ.
The group of people who wield not just cutlasses and pistols, but power and chaos in equal measure. But imagine a scenario where these pirates try to attack the mighty ships of the US Navy.
Obviously, for those of you wondering, I was in the British Royal Marines Commandos. So although, yes, I am a US and a UK citizen, the US citizenship came after I was in the Royal Marines. And so the ship I was on was a British ship.
You know, those that are armed to the
Which, if you want to Google which ship I was on, it was HMS Echo. That's what I was on. Although I think it's decommissioned now.
teeth and equipped with state-of-the-art technology, often exceeding 300 meters in length, with the capacity of displacing 100,000 tons.
Yeah, it's a
What
big boy.
would happen when these modern pirates try to mess with the deadliest ships of the US Navy fleet?
Yep.
Don't underestimate the pirates, though. They've long evolved from what's depicted in the tales of the infamous Caribbean pirates and the legendary feats of figures like Blackbeard and Captain Kidd.
Yeah.
Today's
Yeah, they're much different these days. Much, much different.
pirates are the real deal. And if you think they don't pack a punch, you might be wrong. Join us as we delve into the gripping account of how a notorious band of Somali pirates set their sights on the MV Maersk, Alabama.
It's also showing a lot of tankers there and a lot more civilian commissioned vessels that are carrying goods and stuff like that. Now, anti-piracy security jobs were absolutely all over the place when I was in the Royal Marines. There were people leaving the Royal Marines to go and do that because the pay was so good. You got paid a lot of money to go and protect them ships, and so there was a lot of lads leaving the Royal Marines to go and do it. And I even thought about doing it for a while. I was going to start applying to certain places. I had an interview for a close protection job, but I ended up going to America and meeting my wife, and then here we are now on YouTube instead of standing on a ship. I'm so shiny. I just got out the shower, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like shiny, aren't I?
We'll soon discuss what happened when the U.S. Navy deployed the USS Howard destroyer, and how it took the United States and several other nations to negotiate with the Somali pirates for the release of the ship, leaving us to wonder yet again, do pirates actually stand a chance?
You have to remember this scenario, I'm sure, took place before they started taking this job really seriously. But nowadays, they wouldn't even get on the ship.
How did piracy start in Somalia? Somalia, in the Horn of Africa, faced a lot of challenges. Wars, poverty, and no law and order led to piracy off its coast. In the 1990s, Somalia had a big war after their president Siad Barre was removed.
Oh.
Without a strong
I actually don't know the background to this stuff, so this is actually really interesting.
government, groups with guns started trying to take over. Foreign boats took advantage of this mess. They stole fish and dumped waste in Somalia's waters. So local fishermen turned into pirates to protect their waters and earn money.
Yeah.
By the 2000s, the world was watching Somali pirates. They had big guns and would take big ships hostage, asking for a lot of money to release them. These pirates used small, quick boats and would often keep ship crews as hostages, getting
Yeah, the goal was always to just get money at the end of the day. They weren't taking the ship to do something crazy with it. It was mostly just hostage, give us the money and then we'll leave type of situation. Well, that's what we was told when we were doing the anti-piracy.
money for releasing these ships and crews became a big business. Back in the day, pirates lived on their ships, but modern pirates, like the ones in Somalia, have bases on land and used fast boats for their attacks. They use guns more than swords now.
Yeah, they're definitely not the Jack Sparrow. I wasn't waiting for Jack Sparrow to start jumping on my ship, getting the rounds down.
They want to scare people, steal things, and sometimes they use marooning. What's marooning? It's a pirate punishment where they leave someone on a deserted island. It's a way to punish those who pirates think are causing trouble. The person left behind would have a bit of food, some water, and a gun. This way, if things got too tough, they had a way out. The fight against piracy. On one side stands the mighty US Navy.
Oh my god, look at that image. Look at that image. My god. How many ships are there? At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 that you can see. There's probably some that you can't see, and there's probably some submarines around there as well.
A symbol of naval supremacy, armed with cutting-edge technology and a mission to protect global maritime interests. On the other side, an elusive and cunning adversary emerges: pirates. These audacious outlaws, fueled by desperation and the lure of untold fortunes, navigate treacherous waters with their nimble vessels, striking fear into the hearts of seafarers.
It's not just that, they're also well aware of like our abilities to, what can I say, like for combat. And so we can only fire at someone if they fire at us, or if we know that they're going to be an imminent threat to the ship that you're on, right? Which means like they're plowing forward even though you've done like a warning shot, right? But the truth is, like, they'll sit around and they'll just watch for ages, and there's nothing you can really do about it. If they get too close, you can give them a warning shot, and sometimes they'll just stay there after the warning shot, and there's not much you can do. They're just playing about with you quite a bit.
As the US Navy deploys its sophisticated arsenal and strategic prowess to combat this elusive menace, an intricate game unfolds.
I do want to say, though, if they do get too close and they are a threat to the ship, then you can get the rounds down. It's as simple as that, especially if they're just like speeding towards the boat. Get the rounds down.
With every encounter, the stakes escalate. In the face of the grave threat posed by pirates to maritime trade and the safety of seafarers, the US Navy has devised a comprehensive approach to tackle this age-old scourge head-on. Central to their strategy is the implementation of non-lethal deterrents, which play a pivotal role in mitigating the risks when encountering such threats.
We didn't have any non-lethal deterrents because our ship was so small. There was only me and another 4 individuals keeping an eye on the ship for the security of the ship. The rest of them were just Navy personnel. So between the 5 of us, we had to look after the ship through the day and night, right? So we legit had to do like shifts through the night, keeping an eye on things. And usually when we were doing that, it was either 1, maybe 2 if we were lucky people. If we were in like a really dangerous area, with 2 people on sentry at each time. But it was mostly just 1 person just patrolling the ship. It wasn't a big ship either, you know?
But why non-lethal weapons? Why not just use full force against the pirates? These are questions up for debate. Regardless, the US Navy strives to deter and dissuade pirates from engaging in acts of violence and piracy, thus safeguarding the well-being of those traversing the high seas. Amongst the methods employed, long-range acoustic devices, or LRADs, are one of the most popular.
Whoa.
LRAD systems emit powerful, focused sound waves, which are basically pain-inducing audible beams.
Yeah, we didn't have any of that. We didn't have any of that. We would just be shouting, "Get away! Get out of me! Shoot! Scram!" That's what we were saying. So just to give you context, obviously when I say there was only one on Sentry, there were still people in the bridge and they had full view of everything as well. But yeah, what it would be is we had 2 GPMGs on the front, 2 GPMGs on the back, and then 2 miniguns either side as well. And I think we had... What else did we have? 2 GPMGs on the front, 2 GPMGs on the back, 2 miniguns in the center, and then obviously you had the Navy had their own weapons as well, right? They had the big guns and stuff. We also had our SA-80s if we needed them, and they also had handguns as well.
The sonic weapon produces a high-pitched noise that is higher than the tolerance level of an average human being, deafening the victims and preventing them from coming any closer. The mighty water cannon is another widely utilized non-lethal, offering an effective deterrent against piracy. This powerful device projects a forceful stream of water, creating an impenetrable barrier that dissuades pirates from boarding merchant vessels.
You have to remember as well, like, when I was doing anti-piracy, it was in 2010, 2011. And so it was only just starting to become a really big problem. But nowadays, they've probably all got these different devices on to stop people from pissing about.
Moreover, the water cannon's ability to swiftly fill pirate boats hampers their mobility and restricts their maneuvering capabilities.
Yeah.
Plus, we all know what happens when water fills up in a boat. Other more powerful methods include stun grenades, electric secure fences, laser devices, and dazzle guns, which are certainly non-lethal, but extremely painstaking to say the least.
No, we didn't have any of them either.
The U.S. Navy under attack. During its service, the USS Nicholas, FFG-47, encountered a dramatic incident involving an attack by pirates.
There's quite a lot of vessels there as well. There's 5 vessels, and it looks like there's at least upwards of 3 people per vessel, right? So you got about anywhere between 15 to probably, I don't know, 30 maybe individuals. And as soon as they start circling your ship, you've got to make sure that you've got eyes on where they are constantly, which is already a struggle in itself. And then you've got to start getting around. And this looks like it's at night as well. We did have NVGs. That's one thing we did have, which was really cool because when you shoot in and you've got tracers with NVGs on, and I don't know if people know this, but when you shoot the water, a lot of the time the round like ricochets off the water. They kind of like skim off and go up into the air. And it looks so cool. You got like loads of tracers on a minigun and you're shooting that thing with NVGs on. It looks like some out of Star Wars. It's sick.
In April 2010, while...
Actually, before we get into the story, let me go back a little bit. I had lots of really cool footage of me doing all that training and stuff where we're shooting, you know, like targets and stuff out at sea and all that lot. And I lost the hard drive for it all. And I had some really, really good footage that I could have shown you. And it breaks my heart that I don't have it anymore. It really does.
Incident involving an attack by pirates. In April 2010, while operating in the waters of the Indian Ocean, the frigate found itself engaged in a tense confrontation with Somali pirates.
Yeah.
The incident unfolded when the USS Nicholas detected a suspected pirate vessel, referred to as a skiff, in the vicinity. The frigate's crew swiftly mobilized and initiated appropriate defensive measures. As the pirate skiff attempted to flee, the USS Nicholas, acting in accordance with its mission to combat piracy, commenced pursuit. In a remarkable display of skill and precision, the USS Nicholas managed to intercept the pirate skiff. As the situation escalated, the pirates aboard the skiff opened fire on the frigate,
initiating... bad idea. Bad idea. The moment someone else shoots at you, you have all the rights to shoot them to kill. There are certain rules where you're not necessarily allowed to shoot them unless they shoot at you and stuff like this. As soon as they get the rounds down, it's game on. That's it. Game over for them.
An exchange of gunfire. The crew of the USS Nicholas, well trained and resolute, effectively defended their vessel against the pirate attack.
Yeah.
The engagement resulted in the apprehension of several pirates, while others were forced to abandon their skiff and flee.
Wow.
The successful defense of the USS Nicholas showcased the ship's robustness and the effectiveness of its crew in combating piracy threats.
I have to also say, we weren't out there specifically looking for the threats. The ship itself had its own mission, and we were there just to look after the ship. That's what we were doing.
This incident highlighted the lack of sophistication among most pirates, who often make irrational decisions and target vessels larger than they can handle. Another notable attack made on the U.S. Navy by pirates occurred in April of 2009.
See, all these are right before I started doing anti-piracy, so I was on the ship in 2011. Was it 2010 or 2011? Geesh, I can't remember. I think it was 2011. So yeah, it was just after all these events took place, and so you can imagine the amount of worry and spikes of incidents, because this stuff really wasn't happening before these Somali pirates. So, or it was, but just not as prevalent, right? It wasn't as big of a risk, and so yeah, we got sent out onto the ship.
When the USS Bainbridge was involved in the rescue of the MV Maersk Alabama. The MV Maersk Alabama, a U.S.-flagged container ship, was hijacked by Somali pirates in the Indian Ocean. The USS Bainbridge, an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, subsequently responded to the distress call and reached the scene. During the incident, the pirates held the ship's captain, Richard Phillips, hostage on a lifeboat.
Oh, so this is what they made the film with Tom Hanks, with the meme now, isn't it? That I am the captain now. I am the captain now.
Negotiations with the pirates were initiated, but as the situation grew increasingly
Good film.
tense, the Navy made the decision to take action. Several Navy SEAL snipers from the USS Bainbridge conducted a daring nighttime operation, successfully eliminating 3 pirates and rescuing Captain Phillips unharmed.
That's
This
amazing.
operation, known as Operation Neptune Spear, showcased the skill and precision of the U.S. Navy in countering piracy threats, even in dire encounters.
The fact that we're even able to do that is incredibly impressive. Like, hostage rescue in itself is very impressive when it's successful. When it's on a ship, that's crazy successful.
It's to be noted that the United States has been fortunate to possess strong capabilities in the fight against piracy. But other nations encounter more significant obstacles when dealing with this maritime menace. Factors such as resource disparities, geographical considerations, and varying levels of international support contribute to a less advantageous situation for many countries in their efforts to combat pirates. U.S. Navy capabilities. Let's delve into the prowess of U.S. Navy ships.
You have to remember as well, the U.S. Navy doesn't like it when you mess with their boats. And so when it comes to something as, I'd say simple as anti-piracy, it's not simple, but it's definitely not like another enemy vessel coming to, like a Chinese vessel or like a Russian ship trying to come and destroy it, right? Like, it's not that extent of like a war where you have to get the planes out and stuff. But anti-piracy is something that, even if it's a small threat, the U.S. military, I mean, any military takes it incredibly serious. The difference with the U.S. military is they've got the funds to really develop things to stop it from happening ever, right? The U.K., obviously, we just had guns, right? We just had our weapons, and we just had to protect the ship. In the U.S., I'm sure they've got all these amazing bits of equipment that are constantly being upgraded, constantly being changed. There's probably millions and millions of dollars being put into it. Whereas for us, it was just, here's an attachment for your GPMG on the front of the ship. Don't let anything come close.
Which, interestingly, some pirates believe they can challenge. To state the obvious, the U.S. Navy boasts the world's largest and most formidable fleet.
Yeah.
The Zumwalt class is the pinnacle of surface combatants, showcasing innovation in naval capabilities. The USS Zumwalt, the headliner of this class, is engineered for diverse missions from deterrence to sea control. These destroyers reflect the U.S. Navy's vision for the future. They're not just for today's challenges, but are crafted to integrate emerging technologies and adapt to new mission scenarios.
Yeah.
Speaking of advancement, the Zumwalt will soon incorporate the
Imagine firing one of them at a little skiff. A little pirate skiff's coming towards you. The US is like, take them out. And you fire one of them on it. My days.
Pentagon's Common Hypersonic Glide Body. This system, soaring at Mach 5 or more, can obliterate targets just with its astonishing velocity.
They're not firing them at skiffs. I'm telling you right now, the US is not firing them. They will do anything else before they have to fire one of them things at a skiff. I'm telling you. Skiffs aren't big. They're pretty small. You know, a couple of good shots with a 7.62 in the right places, and you can stop these skiffs. Right? They're not firing one of them at them.
On the other hand, the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer holds its place among the world's elite ships. Commissioned in 1991,
Hey.
it remains a linchpin in the Navy's
It's the year I
fleet.
was born.
These destroyers come equipped with an arsenal that can deter a spectrum of threats, from aerial to subsurface. Pirates even thinking of confronting an Arleigh Burke-class would be courting disaster.
Boom! Look at that.
Especially given its Aegis combat system that can track,
So
target,
cool.
and destroy threats swiftly and effectively.
Yeah, again, they're not going to use them on skiffs. They're really not. It would have to be a relatively larger boat for them to start thinking about something like that.
The sheer power of these missiles can neutralize threats in mere seconds.
Oh my
Pirates
god.
considering challenging such a force? That'd be a grave miscalculation. But for some reason, pirates still end up attacking US Navy ships.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you. Why do you think these pirates try and attack such huge vessels?
I'll tell you why they do it. It's because they're living in a situation where they don't have much money. And for them, doing something like this, if they caught a US ship, it would be like winning the lottery to them. Not only that, a lot of the people on these ships don't want to be on the ship. They're either told they've got to be on there. They're probably really young kids that have no choice. There's probably someone that's punishing them to make them do it. There's probably drugs involved. There's a lot more to it than just this pirate wants this ship. It's usually some sort of gang leader that is telling them to go and do it, even though they don't really want to do it. And again, if they manage to the near impossible task of taking one of these ships over, it wouldn't happen. But to them, they probably don't know all this information. And so if they actually manage to do it, again, it's like winning the lottery for them, right? They not only do they potentially get a decent payout, which the US is not going to do anyway, right? But they get put down in, you know, as legends to the rest of the people that are doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just to them it's just winning the lottery doing something like this. And again, some of them don't even have a choice. Most of them, I would say, don't have a choice.
And what do you think about using non-lethal weapons? Share your thoughts in the comments below. A united front against piracy. In the ongoing battle against piracy, prominent organizations such as the International Maritime Bureau have emerged to play vital roles. The IMB serves as a crucial monitoring and documentation body, providing essential information on piracy incidents worldwide to governments and authorities. Additionally, the United Nations has taken proactive steps by establishing the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which sets
Interesting.
forth a comprehensive legal framework for addressing piracy.
It gets complicated though when it's in international waters and stuff, doesn't it? It's not as simple as just like creating one law, because then what do you do when Russia and China start pissing about? Do you know what I mean?
UNCLOS mandates international cooperation among nations in apprehending and prosecuting pirates, regardless of their nationality or the location of their criminal activities. One notable force in the fight against piracy is the Combined Task Force 150, or CTF 150.
Oh, I was going to say 141 then. I legit thought I was going to start saying 141.
Operating under the Combined Maritime Forces, CTF 150 is a multinational naval task force with a primary mission to enhance maritime security and stability in the Gulf of Aden, the Arabian Sea, and Indian Ocean.
Yup.
Its focus extends to countering terrorism, preventing illicit activities including piracy and smuggling, and promoting a safe and secure maritime environment.
At the end of the day, like these, as long as you do your job properly, these ships are not going to, these vessels, these small like skiffs are not going to be an issue as long as you do your job properly, right? It's when it gets more intricate where they're starting to actually arrest them and collect these people and prevent it from happening at all. Because really and truthfully, you want a situation where it never happens. But at the end of the day, we live in a world where people can do whatever they want in certain places, and so it's going to happen no matter what.
Remember that the fight against piracy is a collaborative endeavor, with nations contributing their naval assets and personnel on a rotational basis to form this task force. Therefore, this multinational coalition can focus on conducting patrols, surveillance, and interdiction operations in the designated areas.
Yeah.
The task force comprises warships, aircraft, and personnel from various countries, promoting international cooperation and coordination. Additionally, those close partnerships are maintained with organizations like the European Union Naval Force and NATO. Of course, the U.S. Navy plays a significant role in this collective effort to combat piracy, yet again demonstrating its commitment to maritime security.
The thing is, I don't think there's necessarily a lot of ships going out there looking to combat anti-piracy. It's usually ships are protecting themselves, and if something kicks off, then they will take like a reaction to it, right? Yes, there are ships that go out there that specifically just do anti-piracy, but that's not as big. Like, there's bigger fish to fry, right? Like, there's more important things to do. And so what will happen is they'll have a team on board, like I was when I was in the Marines. I was a little small part of a small team on board a small ship where I would protect the ship, and if it kicked off, we were the people to go to. It was as simple as that.
In your opinion, how do you think the collaboration between these organizations can be further strengthened? And what do you think about using non-lethal weapons against pirates? Should we use full force instead? Share your tactics, ideas, or thoughts with us in the comment section below.
The thing is, a lot of these non-lethal, he says, weapons are actually lethal, right? And the reason for that is, look where they're spraying. Basically, what that's trying to do there is prevent people from climbing up the side of the ship, which can very easily happen. But the thing is, if you spray someone climbing up the side of the ship and they fall off into the ocean, that's it. They're gone. They're not surviving, right? And so it is technically still a lethal weapon. You just got to use it differently.
All in all, through active participation in multinational operations such as the Combined Task Force 150, the U.S. Navy plays a crucial role in deterring and countering pirate activities.
It's going over the same stuff over and over again now. Good video, really interesting to see. It's nice to see a subject on here which I actually know quite a bit about, because I actually took part in it, right? And so yeah, it's just interesting. I mean, I have some stories, maybe I'll tell them in the near future. But for the most part, when I was doing anti-piracy, there wasn't really that much happening, to be honest with you. But we did have to do a lot of different drills and keep an eye on certain things. And again, we were on a very small ship, so there was only a very small team of us. But it was decent. It was a lot of fun as well. We had a lot of fun going into different ports around the world: Bahrain, Dubai, all that lot, Abu Dhabi. We had a lot of fun. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to check out the video. It'll be linked below. Check out Chug while you're down there if you want. And check out Morale as well. Until next time, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.